Thank you so much for joining us. So happy that you could be here with us on this Earth Day weekend. A friend of mine was saying that every day is Earth Day, and I totally agree. Every day is Earth Day. But since it's being acknowledged outwardly, we are doing the same here in our group because we are all things connected to the earth. Welcome to the Sickle Cell Mental Health and Wellness Initiative. My name is Dr. Marjorie Dejoie Brewer. I'm one of the co-chairs, and I'm going to be leading us halfway through an Earth Day meditation for today. And then Dr. Rowley is going to pick up the charge and lead us through the rest of our Earth Day meditation, a chance for us to just get grounded and connected. And our topic, for those of you who had seen the flyer, was going to be grief. That's what we're talking about all month. And we're just going to defer that conversation with some of our survivors to next weekend, but also have an acknowledgement, a reconciliation session, so that if there's someone that you'd like to acknowledge or talk about or represent that you have lost, because we have lost so many and we'd love to honor them, that will be done for next weekend, all right, for next Sunday. But for today, we're going to start to get grounded. And we're also joined by our fearsome intern, Aminosi. So depending on where you are, please find a very comfortable position. And we also always say, find a safe space, somewhere that you feel like, and a lot of times we do say and reflect that the safe space sometimes is internal, but a space that you're comfortable in so that you can take a moment for yourself. So be it seated on the bolster like I am, laying on the mat, seated in a chair like the leadership team is, maybe leaning on the wall if you need to, or on the sofa. Most important thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. Once you find that position, if you need a couple of slight movements, maybe a turn, maybe a shoulder roll back, maybe a side bend, whatever your body is asking you for, I want you to take a moment to indulge it and give it to it. And if it's not asking for anything, then just say hello in the chat box or send us a little message saying that you're here and connecting with us. And once you've moved a little bit, begin to find some stillness. Begin to soften and find your breath, find your center. I want you to begin to soften through your shoulders, soften through your arms, your hands, lengthen in your neck, open through your heart, relaxing through your lower body, relaxing through your face, your jaw, your cheeks, your nose, your eye sockets, your ears, your forehead, the top of your head. And then, if you feel comfortable, I'm going to invite you to bring your eyes to a gentle close. If you don't want to close your eyes, just look downward. All these cues are giving your body an opportunity to slow down, to calm down, and to be centered. As you become more and more aware of your breath, you begin to tune in to your inner voice. The breath connects us all, internally and externally. And as we enter into our moment of stillness and meditation, we're going to practice a grounding breath exercise. The 4, 7, 8 count breath. Keep breathing normally, and I'll just walk you through it. You're going to inhale for 4 counts, and then you're going to hold for 7, And then you're going to exhale for 8 counts. And we chose this grounding breath work to represent our grounding connection to the earth. We are extensions of the earth. We are not separate. We are all one. And the earth continues to give to us. She is so abundant. So I want us to focus on being grounded. Think of how you're connected to the earth through your seat, through your feet. Maybe you want to place your hands on the earth. Or if you're lying down, you feel the support from the earth. She is our constant. And as you feel that support and settle into your body and your breath, let's start that breathing practice. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale, 8. Two more rounds. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale, 4. Hold, 7. Exhale for 8. 3, 2, 1. Come back to your natural breath. As you come back to your natural breath, feel the earth beneath you. When was the last time you stood under a tree? Or maybe put your feet in the grass? Or saw the moon at night? Or felt the sun on your face during the day? We are so connected to the earth that is below us and above us. And she provides all that we need to heal. Feel that connection through your breath. The gentle inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the pause. We take so much from the earth, and she continues to give abundantly. So taking a moment to honor her only feels fitting. Come back to your breath. Thoughts may come and go, and that's fine. As soon as you take a moment to pause, come back to your breath. I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Rowley to usher us through the next part of our meditation.
Good afternoon, evening, everyone. So, as I was thinking of what the earth provides for me, I would like to hear from you all as well. I was thinking that myself being in California and we had those rains, and I know sometimes too much of one thing can lead to some natural disasters, but California needed the rain. And for myself, I was thinking being plant based, that's what the earth provides for me because of the growth and the abundance of food that can be produced. And I feel good. I feel good from that which can be produced. And I'm very, very, very thankful that, particularly living in California, that there's an abundance of a variety of various foods. So that's what it means for me is the abundance that I can ingest. And so that's what I'm thankful for in terms of the earth. I was also thinking a lot of time. I don't know. Back in the day, people went barefoot, and I know I'm one of those that don't like to, except in my own home. But I do like going to the beach, and I feel if I when I finally get to the sand, that's my opportunity to feel the earth. And I'm just curious of others. Do you all have opportunities to be grounded into the earth, whether it's your grass or what have you? So I like to be able to open that up for a discussion.
As people put their chime in, I'll share mine, and then Aminosi share yours. So I love sunrises. My earth connection on one end is being able to be up before it comes up and be able to see the sun pour in as the sun rises. I just feel like I say, good morning, Earth world, and good morning, Earth. And I feel like she's saying good morning back to me. So I love that. I'm a barefoot girl, but again, only in my house. I love to be able to feel the differences of the floor, either the hardwood floor, and I'll press my toes in, or the coolness of the bathroom tile. I really enjoy feeling that pushback because then it just reminds me that I got you. It's almost like the earth is saying, I got you, girl. It's okay. And if need to stumble here and there a little bit. So those are my two. Besides going out and taking long walks, and I love being able to breathe in and then get a sense of the change in the texture of the air. I'm really quirky like that. So this cool air, and then when it gets wet, the dewy air, and I love to be able to channel those different things as the earth. And I feel like she's just talking to me. So those are my three connections, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Emma, your turn.
Well, hold on. I want to know, what opportunities do you have to have your feet outside? Is it grass? Is it sand? Is it, or do you not have those opportunities?
For me, it's grass, and we have a park nearby, and I have grass in my backyard. So those are the two places that. But it's also concrete. I mean, cement is. I'm from what we call the concrete jungle. I'm from New York, so back in the day, it was a cement driveway. Thank goodness we have a patch of green now, and we have a park nearby that they have recently done it over. So there are certain patches that I don't feel EBGB about. I'll put my feet down in them and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Beach is too far, but I love it when I can go to a beach and let the sand run through my feet.
Okay, thank you. Amanosi?
I would say my connection to Earth is kind of like just the appreciation of like God's creation. Like I love a sunset. I love like the season where flowers are blooming and it's just looking more vibrant. Just like comparing it over the course of the months and the transition of what the seasons look like. I just appreciate like just Earth's beauty overall. I would say as far as like my physical connection to Earth, I'm not one for the grass. I'm not one for the beach. So I don't partake on that aspect. The beach is something that I occasionally like to go to, but I'm not like every summer I have to go to the beach. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't say like I have the physical connection as far as like my feet touching the various textures of the ground in that area.
Thank you. And I'm just seeing if there's any comments. Um, I too, y- y- I've said this before. If not, I work a lot, and I tend to be up. And I like two things. I always see the sunrise, and it's strange. I don't know if it's just me. I am able to actually see the moon from my bedroom,
Oh,
and
nice.
I can also see the sun from my bedroom. So it's comforting given the position, and I can see, um, when I see that, I can just say all is well,
Mm,
and it feels good. Um,
love that.
so I can enjoy the sunshine, and now that the weather is getting a little warmer, right after today's session, I plan on taking a walk um,
Wow.
behind the building. So finally, because it's been a little chilly, so
Yeah.
I feel pretty comfortable about being able to do that. So we like to hear from everyone else in terms of your ability to, or how do you celebrate Earth Day, or have you even thought about it? And what is your connection to the earth?
Dr. Riley Eminence actually made me think about something else because we're both Philadelphia girls. There is a strip that we have called Kelly Drive, and in when the season changes, it has the most gorgeous row of trees. I will take that drive specifically to be by the water and see the trees, and that's probably the only time I actually drive is at the speed limit because yes, I like to drive pretty fast, y'all. I'm pedal to
You
the
have
metal. You didn't hear
land.
that. But when I drive down Kelly, it's a crawl because I love to watch the trees and see the water. And during the fall, the foliage is amazing. And then we have mountains. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, MNOC. It's just, you forget you're almost in Philadelphia. It's like you so connect with the earth and nature just, and I'll be damned if somebody beeps behind me. I'm like, go around. There's another lane. I'm enjoying and taking the earth in. So you brought that to mind, which I love the season changes, and it's another way that I
Mhm.
feel like I connect to the earth.
Yeah,
So,
and also
so
just like okay.
I was going to ask you, what water is, if this is Philadelphia, what water
Schuylkill
is,
River.
River.
is it the river or the,
River. Yeah, it's our Schuylkill River.
oh, okay. Kelly Drive. Thank
Mhm.
you.
And in Jersey, it's Cooper River, which is a man-made river, but it goes into a larger body of water. So I get to benefit from
Mhm.
two bodies of water. Thank goodness there's a little bit of it around. Etta is saying, hi, Etta. She says she likes to walk on the beach and collect shells. I did that this past Friday. Oh, that sounds
That's great.
amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting about that? So Etta, you have to tell me where you do that because somehow some agency or something must come out really early because I don't see shells that many. I don't see
Mhm.
shells that much anymore.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys do, but somebody must come out early and and gather them all serious and then sell them at Michael's or what have
Yeah,
you.
probably.
And so by the time when I get there, it's usually not at the highest peak. It's
Right.
usually more towards going towards sunset, and there's hardly anything there.
Oh,
So I think somebody done come and collected all those things so they can sell it to me. But
and put it back to the earth. Give it
okay,
back to the
there's
earth, please.
it's not that many shells out there. Yeah, okay. So it's not just some agencies going out there and collecting so they can sell them.
Making profits.
How they making profits, exactly. They're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to do that. You know, another amazing connection to the earth is everything that we have that heals us, right? Everything that we might apply to our body, be it my aloe vera in the morning. I know you and I are aloe vera girls, Dr. Rowley. You can't tell me that's not the best facial gel in the world. Every morning I take a little internally and put it on my face, but I feel like everything that heals us, the water that we drink, any medication has come from a plant or a seed from the earth. So that she really, when it comes to healing, and we always say that we have this inner knowing, right? Our body tells us what it needs. Sometimes we just have to be able to listen. And then we always say that God provides. It's God and the earth provides whatever it is that we need right in front of us in abundance if we take care of it in order to have that healing happen. And for me, that's probably the most for me, it's such a powerful connection to know that everything that I need to make myself better is within and at in the earth. And all I have to do is pay attention to the right cues and it'll be there right in front of me. I think that's just magical. Like we don't want for anything. It's on this earth.
Yes. And I think that ties into what I said earlier too about the food,
Yes.
and both the internal and the external. And you're absolutely correct. And I wish that, I just thought about it back in the day, knowing all of these herbs and how to apply and how to mix them. People knew that
Mhm.
and would pass it down, but I don't know where that is in our community. So that would be wonderful, not just for our community, but in general, to have a sage person knowledgeable of the herbs and the roots of things and how you can apply to heal, you know, work on inflammation
Yeah.
or I guess a burn or whatever the case may be. Now, don't get me wrong, like you said, even outside of the natural state, these other pharmaceutical type of medicines do come from initially plants. So this isn't to say not to consider that when you need to and what's been proven.
Right.
But right, absolutely. It would be great to have a sage person in our community that can actually share that and have classes and because the
I,
more you do, the more you remember.
absolutely. I know we have one or two here in Philadelphia, and I have relied on one brother for a very long time. We unfortunately lost him recently, but I will seek out and it's all about the trust also, a trusting of the herbalist and in their intent and their soul, their energy has to be just right because I'm always careful about who I bring into our fold. But I think that's such a powerful thing to say. So I will start searching for someone. Biba is joining us. Oh my goodness, we still practice it. Yes, absolutely in our African communities. I know in our Haitian communities we practice the same thing, but having someone that we can tap into for our sickle cell community would be amazing. So how about we all put that on our list to find? Like one or two people come to mind. So maybe we'll try to invite them. Maybe for our nutrition month, Dr. Rowley, that might not be a bad thing to have an herbalist that can show you, because my mom still makes all that. She'll when we have not a brick and mortar, it's a pedestal with the thing inside of it. We still, when I go home, my mom is like, here, crush, oil, garlic, put it all together, make the paste. She does not play, but it works. I mean, that's why we do it and apply it to our bodies. But that would be a good person to have as an avenue for us as we build out our wellness pathway and alternative options and the like. And again, just a reminder for those of you who are joining us, thank you so much. We decided to do an Earth Day meditation and short discussion today, though this month is all grief, and that's what our post was about. We're going to have 3 survivors who've all had a curative therapy talk to us next weekend. And we're also going to have a reconciliation session. So for those we have lost, if we want to bring something to remember them by, or share our rituals, or do something physical to release the stress, we're going to have a very interesting session next Sunday. But for today, as Dr. Rowley had asked, if there's anybody out there still listening with us and connecting and wants to share something else or their connection to the earth, since we are honoring her this weekend and through our meditation, we'd love to hear from you before we close our conversation.
Yes. Okay. So I think we'll give it another minute to see if people want to say something before we transition to closing. Again, I think just in terms of, and as you said earlier, every day is Earth Day.
Today is Earth Day.
It's funny that we have to have a quote special day.
Yeah.
I always wonder about that. But I guess if you were to say it every day, then it doesn't have the same impact, maybe. Not sure. But I guess it's good to remind everyone. Now, for me, so it's good to find out what's our connection. I think recycling, I am a diehard, but I think it's controversial. So I recycle everything and require it both at my office and my home. And so I separate everything, always have. It just makes sense to me. But I think it all depends on what you read. It seems so controversial in terms of whether or not there's been an impact. But I think for me, it feels right to be able to do that. And I'm the only one and I don't find it an inconvenience. I find it an honor to be able to sort. The good thing is we don't actually have a lot of trash since we are plant-based. So the composting is great. But at least here, I'm not sure about throughout the whole state of California, but in Southern California, they're now having everyone do the green baskets as well. I don't know about East Coast. Are you all having to also compost?
Not everywhere.
Okay, so not yet.
Not yet, right. We can opt to, and we have 2 places here in Jersey that we can take our trash to, and we know that at least those 2 entities actually compost and do all that, but it has not, I'm sure it will come this way, but it has not reached us just yet for everyone to do it. And it's unfortunate. It would be good that we would be all on the same page, number one, and could feel secure that as we're separating and putting things in different containers, it is for our all, the benefit of us all, that it was actually going to all the pathways and going to all the locations as it should be going. But as you said, there is some controversy out there about all that.
The other thing too, I don't know how you guys feel. I was a tester for driving hydrogen. I don't think I don't know if I've shared that with you all, but for 7 years, I was a tester for driving a hydrogen car. And my first hydrogen car was a Mercedes. That model was not here, it was European. And I drove that for about 4 years. And then I transitioned to the hydrogen Hyundai. And I very much enjoyed it. But here's the issue. there aren't as many stations.
Right.
So there's that range anxiety. And um, so I very much would actually drive a hydrogen if I could, but there aren't that many hydrogen stations. So it's a shame because it only emits water only. So what has taken off is electric. And I'm curious what your all's view is about um, electric. And I know in California, they're going to, I guess, in 5 years or less, not sell gas cars,
Oh,
at
wow.
least out of California. I know, very interesting. What is your thought? And then this is all about Earth as well. What are your
Mhm.
guys' thoughts about
I
electric?
think it's soon. I feel like that's soon, but like it's feasible to make that transition at the same time. But in doing that, there has to be that like security to know that if I do need to charge, I can do as such, where need be. So it's like a give and take. I know out here it's also like one of those things where you kind of just have to find a charging station when you find a charging station. It's not on everybody's like apartment complex or neighborhood library, kind of have to find it where you can. So the idea I feel like would be feasible for the earth to not emit pollution and all of that gas into the air. So I feel like that transition could be feasible, just a matter of when and how it's going to go about.
I'm all about it. I'm proud to say that Philadelphia is definitely more manageable as a non-emission city in that all of our buses are electric now, or at least 75% running on electric with like 25% ability for gas in case. We are much more, I was part of some of the organizations that led the charge for making it more of a neighborhood city. So we have bikes everywhere. We have increased the number of charging sessions by 50%, I want to say, even though it's not everywhere, as Aminosi pointed out, but there are way more available. So, renewable resources, for me, sometimes when I think about being electric versus gas, electric is better. But then the other things that overuse electric, like things like Bitcoin, and what I hear that, you're almost stealing electricity from countries that need it. And so I feel like on one end we're doing something good, and on another end we need to be a little bit more careful. But anything that clears the air,
Yep.
in my opinion,
Yes.
is non-negotiable and must be done.
And California is still one of the worst. Oh, I live in a state where in LA is still one of the worst polluted cities,
Hmm.
and it's so unfortunate.
So unfortunate.
Yep.
Because we
So
can feel the difference when you step off into an area where it's not so polluted. As
Yeah.
Vivian had said, when we go back home to our mother countries, you step off the plane and it's complete. I'm like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like when I take a deep breath. It's like night and day. And then you come back here and it's like, oh my God, put my filter on. So it's but I'm confident that we will get there. We will get, as you see my tree behind me, I'm always connecting. It's like, okay, please take the toxins out and help us out.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly. Well, wow. Well, this has been a great. This is our SC3 version of mental health and wellness Earth Day,
yeah.
and we're so happy that that you all joined us, and it was great to get grounded in our meditation that Dr. Marjorie started us off with. And so we do want you all, today is Earth Day, but every day is. So think about your connection. What does that look like? Do you want to have less carbon, footprint? What does that look like? And I think overall, even in our community, it's just healthy in terms of that which goes into our lungs and which you're breathing, or the food, in terms of getting in more plant-based and veggies into your diet. So the air, the food, and then we talked about topical. So the aloe vera, I use jojoba oil. So those natural items that exist already to be able to continue to heal and be kind to yourself. So with that, I think we will transition to close out. And so, Dr. Marjorie, did you want to do our three?
Community breaths,
Can
absolutely.
thank you.
And as we finish our session, our soul healing session, if you haven't had a chance to let the sun just hit your face and just stand in stillness and just say thank you to the earth for a moment, maybe go out and do it when you have an opportunity and just see what she tells you. She might give you a new secret or piece of wisdom that you didn't have before you stepped out, just to welcome the sunlight. And with that, ground yourself one more time and soften. Again, if you can, you're going to want to breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth so that it's a cooling breath. And again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more. In. Fill up, fill up, fill up. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Bring your palms to heart center, thumb knuckles to chest. Bowing for a moment in acknowledgement of the time that you put aside for yourself today. On this special weekend that marks Earth Day, as we hold space for ourselves, but also holding space for those warriors who could not be with us today. And maybe they're in need of a little extra support from the earth. We send them out metta, which is another word for love, loving kindness, positive energy, and light. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us. And we'll see you next Sunday. Be well.
Good night, everyone.